Dear students, welcome to the online lecture series 2021-22. In last lecture, you studied chapter number 3. Today, we are going to start with a new chapter, that is number 4, Issue of Debentures. We are going to learn important points in this chapter. Now, let us begin with our chapter. What is debentures? A debenture is a document given by a company as evidence of debt to the holder. A debenture is a document given by a company as evidence of debt to the holder, usually arising out of loan and most commonly secured by charge. Correct? According to the above definitions, debenture is an evidence of indebtedness. It is an instrument issued in the form of debenture certificate under the common seal of the company. Correct? Companies prefer issuing debentures to raise funds as they can repay after a long period. Regulations governing issue of debentures. Regulations governing issue of debentures. A company issuing debentures has to comply with the provisions of the Companies Act 2013, Companies Rules 2014, RBI Guidelines and SEBI's various regulations. Company issuing debentures has to comply with the provisions of the Companies Act 2013, then Companies Rules 2014, RBI Guidelines and SEBI's various regulations. A company can issue secured as well as unsecured debentures. Correct? A company can issue secured as well as unsecured debentures. It can issue non-convertible debentures or debentures which can be converted fully or partly into equity shares. All debentures are redeemable. Listen carefully. All debentures are redeemable. That is, have to be repaid. Company can issue debentures to its members or make a public offer or offer it even through private placement. Correct? You know very well what is private placement. Correct? Okay. Company can also list its debentures on stock exchanges. Company can also list its debentures on stock exchanges. The board of directors of a company have the authority to issue debentures. The board of directors of a company have the authority to issue debentures. The board can use their borrowing powers. The board can use their borrowing powers only up to the limit permitted by the Articles of Association. If in case the board wants to increase its borrowing powers, the board wants to increase its borrowing powers, they have to get the approval of shareholders in a general meeting through a special resolution. Understood? Okay. Now we will see provisions for issue of debentures as per Companies Act 2013. Provisions for issue of debentures as per Provisions Act 2013. First, no voting rights. A company cannot issue debentures with voting rights. Listen carefully. A company cannot issue debentures with voting rights. Debenture holders are the creditors of the company. Correct? You know, debenture holders are the creditors of the company, and so they do not have any voting rights except in matters affecting them. Then second point is types of debentures. A company can issue secured or unsecured debentures and fully or partly convertible debentures or non-convertible debentures. To issue convertible debentures, a special resolution has to be passed in general meeting. All debentures are redeemable in nature. Important thing. All debentures are redeemable in nature. Next point is payment of interest and redemption. A company shall redeem the debentures and pay interest. Company shall redeem the debentures and pay interest as per the terms and conditions of their issue. As per the terms and conditions of their issues. Next, debenture certificate. Company has to issue debenture certificate to the debenture holders within 6 months of allotment of debenture. How many? Within 6 months of allotment of debentures. Correct? Then next point is create debenture redemption reserve. Company has to create a debenture redemption reserve account out of profits of the company available for payment of dividend. This money can be used only for redemption of debentures. As per the company's amendment rules 2019, MCA has removed debentures redemption reserve requirement for listed companies. Okay? Then next, appointment of debenture trustee. If the company issue prospectus, more than 500 people, company has to appoint one or more debenture trustees. Debenture trustees protect the interest of the debenture holders. Okay? Then next, debenture trustees can approach NCLT. Debenture trustees have to redress the grievance of debenture holders. If the company defaults in repaying the principal amount on maturity, in paying interest thereon, the debenture trustees can approach the National Company Law Tribunal for redressal. NCLT, National Company Law Tribunal. Okay? NCLT can direct a defaulting company to repay the principal amount or interest. Okay? Then impose restriction. When the debenture trustee is of the opinion that the assets of the company are insufficient or likely to become insufficient to redeem the principal amount of debentures, it may approach the NCLT. NCLT can order a company to restrict incurring further liabilities so as to protect the interest of the debenture holders. Okay? Then punishment for contravention of provisions of the Companies Act. If the company fails to comply with any provisions of the Act, then the company and its officers shall be liable to pay fine or both as prescribed in the Act. Okay? Now, let us see requirements as per SEBI for issue of debentures. Requirements as per SEBI. SEBI means Security Exchange Board of India. Okay? Requirements as per SEBI for issue of debentures. First point is minimum subscription. SEBI Regulation 2008 Issue and Listing of Debt Securities. Regulation 2008 Regulation 12 state the minimum subscription to be collected by a company. As per SEBI, listen carefully, as per SEBI, the minimum subscription for public issue of debentures is 75% of base issue size, that is rupees 100 crores. If the minimum subscription is not received, the entire money received should be refunded within 12 days from the date of closure of the issue. Then, second point is retention of oversubscription. Company can retain oversubscription money up to the maximum 100% of the base issue size or any lower unit as specified in the offer letter or letter of offer or prospectus. Okay? Correct? Then next point is underwriting. Company can enter into an underwriting agreement with underwriters. Company may enter into an underwriting agreement with underwriters for its public issue of debentures. Appoint of underwriters must be mentioned in the offer letter. Appointment of underwriters must be mentioned in the offer letter or prospectus. Correct? Then next point is credit rating. SEBI Regulation 2018 states that companies should get credit rating for issuing debentures. As per SEBI, companies making a public issue or right issue of convertible debentures must obtain credit rating from one or more credit rating agencies. The rating should be mentioned in the offer letter or prospectus. Credit rating means rating given to the debt securities by a credit rating agency which indicates the credit risk level. Okay? Now we will see procedure for issue of debentures. Listen carefully. Procedure for issue of debenture. First point is pass resolution in board meeting. You see on the PPT. In the board meeting, following resolution will have to be passed. That is, amount and type of debentures to be issued and terms and conditions for issue. Then approve prospectus or offer letter. Correct? Then approve appointment of debenture trustees and get their written consent. Authorities board to create charge on asset of the company. Correct? Call extraordinary general meeting if the board's borrowing powers need to be increased, and authorizes board to open a separate bank account for receiving money from applications. Next point is hold extraordinary general meeting. If the borrowing powers of the board is to be increased, if the borrowing powers of the board is to be increased, EGM means extraordinary general meeting must be held to get the shareholders' approval through a special resolution. Understood? You listen carefully. Next point is filing with Registrar of Companies. Secretary has to file the special resolution and copy to prospectus, offer letter or letter of offer with Registrar of Companies within 30 days of board meeting. Within 30 days of board meeting. Okay? Next point. Obtain credit rating. Company gets its debentures rated by one or more credit rating agencies. The rating must be mentioned in the prospectus or offer letter. Correct? Next point. Enter into underwriting agreement. Company enters into an underwriting agreement for underwriting its debenture issue. Next point is issue prospectus or letter of offer or offer letter. Which word to be used? Company issues prospectus if it is inviting the public to buy its debentures. Company issues prospectus if it is inviting the public to buy its debentures. Offer letter is issued if a company makes private placement. Offer letter is issued if a company makes private placement and letter of offer for rights issue. Okay? Then open separate bank account. Company opens a separate bank account in a scheduled bank to receive the money from the applicants. Then receiving application money. Subscribers will submit their application. Subscribers will submit their application along with the required amount to the specified bank within the time period mentioned in the prospectus or letter of offer or offer letter. Correct? Then hold board meeting. After the issue closes, a board meeting is held to decide and approve allotment of debentures. Board also approves certain of charges on the company's asset. Creation of charges on company's asset. Board also approves creation of charges on the company's assets. Issue of debenture certificate. The allotment procedure has to be completed within 60 days. The allotment procedure has to be completed within 60 days from the receipt of application money. Company has to issue debenture certificate. Listen carefully. Company has to issue debenture certificate within 6 months of allotment of debentures. Within 6 months of allotment of debentures. Okay? And last point is make entries in Register of Debenture holders. Secretary has to make entries in the Register of Debenture holders within 7 days after the board approval of allotment. Debenture holder within 7 days after the board approval of allotment. However, if debentures are issued in demat form, company does not maintain the register of debenture holders. Okay? Understood? Assignment, notes and MCQ test of this chapter has been uploaded on the Telegram channel. So, solve it and all the best. Okay? Thank you.